you want to look at anything in a bigger format, feel free. Oh, yeah,
It's a real simple meeting that.
I think so.
I'm going to do it now.
Comments first. About 10 minutes is all. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. I'll call the monthly meeting of the Raleigh County Planning Board and Board of Zoning Appeals to order. At this time, I'm going to read a statement here. Raleigh County Planning Board and the Raleigh County Planning Board, Board of Zoning Appeals rules for public comment sessions. The following applies to all meetings of the Raleigh County Planning Board and Board of Zoning Appeals. Number one, public comments shall be limited to no more than 5 minutes per each speaker. The time limit does not include questions asked by the board members. The chair reserves the right to extend speaker time should the situation warrant do so. Number two, all comments should be directed at the board. Number three, all speakers must go to the podium to make comments. State their full name, address before beginning. Number four, public comments shall be made only during the designated time of the agenda at any public meeting. The public comments are out of order if made outside the designation time of the agenda of the public meeting and without the speaker having first been recognized by the chair. Number five, remarks of the individual speakers shall not be simply repetitively or identically comments made by the prior speaker. Number six, verbal, visual, person attacks to the private citizens, staff, board members shall not be allowed. Speakers who violate any one or more of these rules will be asked to end their comments, and the speakers or non-speakers who attend, whose conduct disrupts the orderly and the content of the public meeting at any time will be asked by the chair to leave the meeting. So you guys are the guinea pigs tonight because this is the first time we're doing this.
A new set of rules, huh?
Yep, we adopted them and tonight's the first one. With that being said, we'll move on to open public comments. Public comments are made about anything planning and zoning that is not relevant to the agenda for this evening. So does anybody have any public comments? If I see none, we'll move on to our consent agenda.
I was just wondering, rather than having to read that every meeting, can we just have that printed up and maybe put it on an easel someplace so people can just read it themselves?
Or put it on your website.
Yeah, but not everybody might check the
Amanda?
website, but I thought, does it have to be read?
I'll have to think about that. It's probably best that it's read, just so we can make sure, people
Right.
hear it. We can't necessarily guarantee somebody's gonna go look at something.
Right.
Well, I mean, if we just had it sitting on an easel out here,
So we'll look
Also
into
pretty
that.
clear that there's a whole bunch of people here ready to raise a bunch of hell, right?
well, it happens sometimes. so-
But I mean, this evening anyway, right?
We'll look into that next.
You're gonna have to read this
Yep.
every time. I mean,
Yeah.
that's,
Well, I think it's I think it'll be fine. So, do I have, any comments, corrections, additions to the minutes from the January 9th meeting? Is there any, comments, questions about the report of fees for January, February? And I had one question.
Yeah, I've got one too.
On the building permits for January. Second one from the bottom. 4848 Thomas Weird Road, agricultural. I thought that Thomas Weird, is that part of the Peterson Ranch deal? I thought that was all residential, not agricultural.
That's the zoning of it. The use of the building is ag. For large enough lots.
Okay. All right, I just wanted to double check.
I got a question on that same January one, the very top one, it says it's a permit, single family detached manufactured home, and it's only got a value of $1,000.
Because it's like a 1980 manufactured home that they moved in without a building permit.
So why do we put a value of 1,000 though?
Because honestly, the property owners didn't even know what the value of it would be.
I would think any house at all would be worth more than $1,000.
They had moved it from one location to another, and like I said, it's a very old manufactured home, and so I'm sure the appraiser will assess it at the right value.
I mean, we got a pole barn.
Do I hear a motion to approve the consent agenda for this evening?
So moved.
Second,
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda for this evening. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. All right. Since we have no agenda items for the Board of Zoning Appeal, will do I hear a motion? Do I have a motion to go into the Raleigh County Planning Board?
So moved. Second.
Been moved and seconded that we move into the Raleigh County Planning Board. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, motion carried. All right. This evening, for the Raleigh County Planning Development Board, we have petition 23-002, applicant Shelley Foltz, property owners Arlene M. Foltz, Shelley Foltz, and Drew Brokennicki. Representative is Richard H. Seaton. The request is to replat lots 1 and 2 of Shirley Ranch Addition into Ranch Addition Unit 2 into 2 lots and update the final development plan associated with the planned unit developed zoning designation of the property. The size of the tract is approximately 5 acres, located generally approximately 1,920 feet north of Anderson Avenue on the east side of West 60th Avenue, Section 5, Township 10, Range 7, and Wildcat Township. Bob?
Are you gonna do the rest for me now?
Well, I could if you want me to.
So, go on, almost done.
It's my first time.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Shelley Foltz has made application with Raleigh County Planning and Development requesting to replat lot 1 and lot 2 of Shirley Ranch Unit 2 into 2 lots and update the final development plan associated with the planned unit development zoning designation for the property. And these are the property owners involved: Arlene Foltz, Shelley Foltz, and Drew Brokennicki. The subject property is owned by Arlene Foltz, as mentioned, and the applicant wishes to replat the 2 lots, reconfiguring the common property line. There's also a request to update the final development plan to reflect the change to the lot layout. The subject site is generally located approximately 1,920 feet north of Anderson Avenue on the east side of West 60th Avenue in Wildcat Township. In October of 2000, the subject site was rezoned from A4 single family residential and G1 general agricultural to A5 single family residential and platted as lots 1 and 2 of the Shirley Ranch subdivision. In April of 2013, the property was rezoned from SF5 to RPUD, residential plan unit development, and replatted into 2 residential lots. Although there is no request to rezone the property at this time, there is a request to update the final development plan associated with the plan unit development zoning designation for the property. This is to basically show the new configuration of the lots on the final development plan. And there are no conditional uses, special uses, or variances associated with the subject property. The County Fire District number 1 will continue to serve the site. The nearest county fire station is located at 3141 West 69th Avenue. The subject site is located within 5 road miles of the fire station. The subject site is located within the LUPZ or land use planning zone as per the most recent joint land use study. The applicant filed a Fort Riley, Kansas area of military impact real estate disclosure form with the Register of Deeds as a condition of the proposed residential plan unit development in 2013. There are no new residences proposed with this request. And this is the final plat illustrating the new orientation and location of the lot's boundaries. Both lots abut and directly access West 60th Avenue, which is maintained by the township. No new entrances are proposed with this request. I want to point out what's going on here. Originally, prior to 2013, lots 1 and 2 were really divided by this line coming across to like this, all the way across. 2013, when it went from agricultural and single family residential to the RPUD, this line got moved from here to here in order to provide an area suitable for the on-site septic system for the house being built here. The system ended up going south of the home and rest comfortably south of the home. So with that, they would like to reconfigure the lots to bring this line back down. There's been some development along this area of lot 2. So instead of going back to the original layout, they just moved that lot line just a bit further north and straightened out somewhat on an east and west trajectory. So that's what happened there. That's really essentially all that's going on. This is the updated or amended final development plan, along with the new common property line configuration. Updates to the list of permitted uses have been made, specifically updating references to the land development regulations. So, excuse me, instead of a reference to the SF5 single family residential district, it refers to the what is known as the SF1 single family residential zoning district. Essentially, we just modernized it. And so here's a few pics of the site. This is the home on lot 1, furthest north of the 2 lots. Again, no physical changes with the buildings are being proposed. This is the driveway that serves lot 1. You can see the newer of the homes located on lot 2 to the right of the photo. And this is the driveway that serves lot 2, and a look at the home that occupies the lot. And one final look at that particular home on lot 2. Again, a very simple, straightforward process here. Staff recommends that the planning board approve the final plat of Shirley Ranch Unit 3, as it has been determined that it meets the minimum requirements of the Raleigh County Land Development Regulations and the Sanitary Code. Staff also recommends that the planning board forward a recommendation of approval of the updated final development plan associated with the PUD plan unit development zoning designation of separate property. As it remains in substantial conformance with the preliminary development plan. That's all I have. If you have any questions.
Does the board, many board members have anything for Bob at this time? Diane? Rita?
No.
Joe? Nathan? If not, This time, if the applicant or representative come forth, say anything if you'd like.
Yeah, hi, I'm Richard Seaton. I think Bob did it really well. The only thing that's really affected, I mean, the only properties that are affected by this move are the two contiguous lots. I mean, there's nobody else who's affected in any way. And the bottom line really is that what Shelley's trying to do is take back essentially a horse pasture that's been part of that lot one for years and years. That's all that's happening here. And then the funny sort of squiggle that where it goes to the north and east is to accommodate some landscaping in there. But you know, it's her mom and her and Shelley's is the transfer on death owner of the property. So they're both in it and they want to get it done. And the big house has been sold and closes 28th of March. So just asking that you all approve it. I mean, it really has no impact on anybody except those two contiguous lots. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Are there any proponents within 1,000 feet? Is there any opponents within 1,000? If not, do I guess we'll move on to close the public hearing then if there's no.
Mr. Chairman, I move to close the public hearing and go into our deliberation mode. Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we close public hearing and go into our deliberation mode. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion carried. All right. We'll start over here, Diane.
If this is just good, like you say it many times, good housekeeping.
Good housekeeping.
It just, yeah, it makes sense and get things.
Rita?
I agree.
I'll agree. Nathan,
So,
and I guess, yep, I do that. So since we're all in consensus, go ahead and make a
I was
motion.
gonna say, I moved forward a recommendation of approval to the Board of County Commissioners of Riley County of the request to update the final development plan. Oh, no, wrong one. Sorry about that.
Yep, that's fine.
Request to replat lot 1 and 2 of the Shirley Ranch Unit 2 into 2 lots to be known as Shirley Ranch Unit 3 and update the final development plan associated with the planned unit development zoning designation for the property, as it has been determined that it meets the requirements of the Riley County Land Development Regulations.
I have a second.
One second.
The moved and seconded that we move and second to approve the request of replat lots 1 and 2 of Shirley Ranch Addition Unit 2. All those, or is any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay, 5-0. Need a motion for the final development plan.
Sure, I'll do that one. Move to forward a recommendation of approval to the Board of Commissioners of Riley County of the request to update the final development plan associated with the PUD zoning designation of the subject property as it remains in substantial conformance with the preliminary development plan.
Seconded.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we to move forward to recommend the approval to the Raleigh County Board of Commissioners for the final development plan associated with the PUD. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. 5.
Okay,
Okay,
one
Bob.
last public service announcement. The Board of County Commissioners will hear the request March 23rd at 10:30 a.m. in these chambers. That's all I have.
All right.
Well, thank you all very much.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Good luck. If you guys want to stay, you can. If you don't, you can.
It's pretty exciting stuff here, but I think we're gonna go to dinner.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Bob.
You're welcome. Okay.
All right, we'll go on to our second agenda for this evening. Public hearing to consider the request of Evergy, Kansas Central petitioner David and Donna Cedarburg, owners of a special use authorization to establish and operate an electrical substation in Ashland Township, Section 12, Township 11, Range 7. Action needs to be taken this evening. It would be to table this discussion, this motion, or table this topic until our April 10th, 2023 board meeting.
Can I ask why we're tabling?
You can ask Bob.
Why we're tabling?
Some folks in Ashland Township had come into the office and questioned the location of the substation. And they wanted to talk to them directly, and I gave them the number and the person to talk to, and they contacted them and asked them to a little bit of time, maybe meet with them and to see if there's alternative locations. So that's we were contacted by Evergy, and it was requested to get to the table or get to the public hearing, have the board, since it already went through the publication and notification process, to get to the public hearing and table it from this point to April 10th. Now, again, it's just to have a talk with the neighbors and to see, if there is a better place to put it. So,
Will there be a change coming? I mean, I've seen what went out to the neighbors, because I'm a neighbor. Yeah. And is there gonna be a change that's gonna come to the board next month?
yeah, I'm guessing. If not, if they need more time, the board can table it to the May meeting,
I see, okay.
or they can withdraw the application, depending on how those talks go.
Okay,
That's the reason.
Mr. Chairman,
Diane.
I move that we table the request of the Evergy, Kansas Central Incorporated petitioner and David and Donna Cedarburg, owners, for a special use authorization until the April 10th meeting.
Okay,
Second.
been moved and seconded that we table the request until April the 10th for the Riley County Planning Board for the request of Evergy, Kansas Central petitioners Donna and Dave and Donna Cedarburg for a special use authorization. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Okay, it's tabled. I think nobody showed up. from down
Finish the
there.
wave.
Those two were doing,
Come around.
those were doing hand signals, like you're sorry.
Okay,
It wasn't what you guys should have kept.
Bob, do you have anything else at this time that,
Yes, but it's a secret.
okay, so I have a motion to adjourn.
Are you doing something or?
No.
No.
he's being odd.
Mr. Chairman, I move we adjourn that. Y'all leave. We never get out this one.
No, it took me long to
Who's
drive
gonna
in.
second?
I have no idea.
Somebody second my motion.
Fails to mow.
Second, it
Oh,
was ready to go home.
it's been moved in second
Okay, in the live stream.
that we adjourn the Raleigh County Planning Board meeting. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed. Motion carried 5-0.
Thank you, folks.
Yeah, wow.
Are we